Hi, I'm Jason from Abbey Bike Tools, and we recently launched our new Fit Kit. It's a pretty handy tool, but we've been getting a lot of questions about it. It's not super intuitive, just looking at a bunch of parts, but it's really easy to use. So the tool has a couple of unique purposes. One, for replication of fit. If you're somebody that's sensitive about how your bike fits, or you're traveling and you're reassembling the bike and you want to make sure all your contact points are in the right spot. Number two, if you think your fit's changing, whether your seat post is slipping, you can confirm that position is still the same based upon your original numbers. Or if you're trying to fine tune a fit on a new bike, new saddle, whatnot, and you want to tweak a millimeter here or there, it can be really handy to help make those small adjustments and with a high level of accuracy. So the tool is 4 pieces that are all here in my hand. The big part is the Fit Kit plate, the top plate. You can see we've got a little bit of a scale here. We've got some hard marks for saddle height reference points that are based off the nose of the saddle, 10 centimeters back for stub nose TT seats like this bike in the background here, or 15 centimeters for a more traditional saddle or something with a long nose like this Arione. Then we've got the other pieces back here, crank preload tool for all your Shimano applications. This is offered as a standalone piece just for the crank preload. And then we've got the saddle height bullets that we do in 8 or 10 millimeter sizes. These guys are kind of handy. They just locate in the crank arm fixing bolt, or they locate in the crank preload tool like that. You can see they've got a slot through the middle of them with a little magnet at the bottom, so you can accurately locate your tape measure every time on the round fixing bolt and pick up quite a bit of precision there. So we're going to show you real quick how the tool is used. So we just slip this on top of the saddle, tighten down the supplied toe strap, and away we go. So we're going to come down to the bottom. We'll take our crank preload tool, we'll stick that in there, and then we'll take the saddle height bullet that rotates independently, so the orientation of that isn't affected. Just hold a finger on it. We come up here, and now we can worry about the smart end of the tape measure. So since this is a normal saddle, we're going to pull back to the second mark at 15 centimeters. We're going to see that the saddle height here is 791, which is the saddle height that I've run for years. So yeah, pretty easy. All of a sudden it becomes, a reference that's down to a millimeter or less. So for people that are sensitive about that saddle height, it's definitely pretty handy. The other cool thing about the crank arm preload tool, we can fish this Allen key out of my pocket. It's got a 5mm hex in it, so when you do need to adjust or remove that, you've got a little bit of extra leverage when you do need to do that task. So saddle height is obviously just one part of the fit. The other two things are angle and setback from the cranks. So for angle, you've got 2 choices. Basically, you've just got a big flat surface here. So we can take your basic hardware store angle finder, stick that on. You can see that we're just about 1.5 degrees off of zero. Your other option, get a smartphone app with a level on it, and you can set that guy up zeroed out to the ground if you want, and then you've got a digital representation there, which is pretty handy. The final key, or the final measurement for fit, is saddle setback, and so that refers to how far the saddle is behind the crank. And so we can take our plumb bob, do our math up top. So we've got, how much is our target setback, anywhere from 5 millimeters in front, which would, or up to 15 millimeters behind. We also have a hard mark there for UCI setback for people that have to worry about TT bike legality. And then, so you can do your fit calculation up here, and then when the plumb bob stops bouncing around, you can just go to axle center there. You can also stick the saddle height bullets in there and basically just have a target to go for. And go for this slit in there. So that's kind of the ins and outs, a quick explanation of how the tool is used. Hope that we answered a lot of the questions, showed you guys that it's more than just a clipboard. If you do have any other questions, feel free to email us precision@abbybiketools.com or reach out to us at Abbey Bike Tools on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.